Welcome back to another episode of our podcast series on AI and its impact on supply chain management. Organizations are dealing with numerous interconnected processes, managing inventory across multiple locations, and striving to meet customer demands while minimizing costs. According to the recent studies, the cost of inventory distortion alone amounts to a staggering $1.1 trillion. Inventory accuracy remains a significant challenge for businesses, with stockouts, overstocks, and inaccuracies leading to lost sales, increased carrying costs, and reduced customer satisfaction. To address these pressing issues and unlock new growth opportunities, businesses are turning to innovative technologies like AI and ML. And who better guide us through this transformative journey than our guest today, Matthew Butler. With over 25 years of experience in the supply chain industry, Matthew brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to our discussion. Having held pivotal roles in services, sales, and strategy, he possesses deep understanding of the intricacies of the industry. Currently serving as the leader of SCT Advisory, Matthew assists organizations in investment planning and gaining a competitive edge in the market. Together, we will explore how AI and ML are transforming supply chain management and how organizations can leverage these technologies to enhance inventory accuracy, streamline operations, and unlock new growth opportunities. So let's welcome Matthew to the podcast as we explore the fascinating world of leveraging AI and ML solutions for the supply chain optimization. Matthew, welcome again to the Technocrats.
Thanks, Deepak.
So, Matt, to start with, my question is that by leveraging advanced algorithms and data-driven insights, organizations can optimize their operations, reduce costs, enhance overall supply chain efficiency. Example of such transformation impact can be seen in demand forecasting, where AI/ML technologies have revolutionized traditional forecasting methods. How do you envision this transformation occurring? Can you tell how AI/ML algorithms demonstrate their effectiveness in forecasting demanding patterns and optimizing inventory management?
Yeah, absolutely. Consumer insights and awareness of environmental variables are undoubtedly driving much higher levels of forecast accuracy, and there's a lot more to be seen here. There is a plethora of data out there, big data, IoT, everything that has evolved over the recent years. Has made all of this data now available that AI and ML can use to drive insights as to how weather, social media, news, etc., are going to impact purchasing behaviors and therefore demand volatility. And now AI just needs to identify the correlations between these cause and effect connections and what their relative impacts are. So a lot of companies are already embracing some of the more obvious inputs and using ML to provide more accurate insights than were previously available. But there's a long tail of unidentified data that can be added to these models in the future, and even a lot of data that has been identified that can be better leveraged by these models that are going to allow us to continue to improve forecast accuracy across planning horizons. And what I mean by that is, what's expected 6 months out, what's expected 3 months out. Well, now we're really going to be even able to get into more of what's happening this next week, what's happening in the next few days, so that we can drive more hyper-responsive ordering mechanisms and planning inventory optimization approaches. So with the ability to better calibrate in the nearer terms, much higher levels of responsiveness are now a focus for companies and their software vendors to take actions on these insights. So what many companies are looking at is not only how can you remediate these disruptions and these challenges, but what is the most cost-effective way of doing so? And it's a lot of the evolution of inline memory and simulation that's allowing us to predict and take action on the most likely, most effective solution available, which again is the realization of these demand insights and the impact on service levels and profitability. So to be more tactical, operational response based on both the increased accuracy and the recognition of the disruptions allow companies to better calibrate the key decisions in their supply chain practices. Take, for example, lead times, which are difficult to predict due to weather-based shipping delays, port congestions, union strikes, the availability of internationally outsourced and produced products, global trade, and the volatility associated with it is constantly a challenge. And quite often, these are high-dollar assets that are moving and may or may not be arriving early, on time, or very, very late. And being able to better anticipate likely disruptions and turn that into better lead time predictions means that people can set more effective safety stock levels with less of an impact on returns on assets, while still delivering the same level of customer service that they need and their customers want. Some more obvious examples, perhaps, are just around understanding seasonal volatility and deriving higher accuracy in the same safety stock. So this is inventory optimization at its core. It's what is the temperature variability, what is anticipated in the forecast, and what kinds of impacts are that going to have, and how does that flip what had been anticipated a month earlier as you developed your inventory deployment strategies. Well, now how do you just need to respond to these changes in temperature and the impact that that's going to have on consumer behaviors to ensure that you have the right product in the right place at the right time. You think about industries that are heavily impacted by that. It's frozen goods, it's protein, meats products, chicken, beef, pork, all of those high dollar products, high sensitivity to freshness, and really recognizing the variability there and the potential impacts on inventory allows them to manage that inventory and process much, much more effectively.
In your explanation, actually, Matt, you have used the word data, and actually that's really coming out to be is that data is being an asset. And I have seen companies time to time is that earlier it was only putting the data into one place. Now actually it's about how they can actually get more and more data through IoT sensors and then going into the web scraping or basically now working with the ecosystems to share the data among the organization to fill those gaps as well. So those data points are making it also possible, as you highlighted, AI ML algorithms to work at a very different level than the traditional way those have worked.
Yeah, you can really start to see the end-to-end impacts, and these are kind of the fundamentals of the ways that businesses are managed today and will manage their markets in the future. And what I mean by that is look at just assortment planning, catalog planning, inventory availability, really breaking down into a deeper understanding the carrying costs, the economic order quantities, fulfillment costs, and thinking about it less as an items forecast and more as a category level forecast. And then understanding substitution and cannibalization pressures are going to facilitate kind of this transition into that customer engaged unified commerce ecosystem, where all of those data points will better understand, not just how they've gotten to where they are and what the risks to their inventory is, but how to present options and fulfill demands using a broader set of products that are available to them. Ultimately, this is, fusing into merchandising strategies. It's throttling demand to overstock items and protecting those understocked and maybe even higher margin options to ultimately deliver still the right customer service expectation, but doing so while balancing the appropriate inventory levels and driving the desired turns and the returns on assets for the organization as a whole.
The other side of the coin, Matt, is always the adoption. And we hear time to time is that adoption is an issue. Even 54% of the organization reported that their top barrier of implementing AI in the supply chain was the lack of understanding of AI capabilities and its adoption. In your opinion, what are the potential challenges or barriers that organizations face in implementing AI ML in the supply chain process, and how a leader should overcome those challenges based on your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is very much near and dear to my heart. It's fair to say, and there's a level of variability across industries, but undoubtedly there are a large number of organizations that have failed to invest appropriately in IT, and many who lack very strong, robust data platforms. Some of the reason for that is kind of a historical tendency to focus on M&A and roll up organizations and allow them to operate as an individual business unit and pursue their own levels of profitability. Others, such as in food and beverage and CPG, that have had a strongly centralized IT strategy approach in the past, have often failed to modernize because of the cost of and upkeep of these robust supply chain ecosystems. So I think that what you have to do is look at your IT platform first and foremost and think about what a high performance platform looks like in an AI ML reality. And then think about all of the components that fit into it that have likely been acquired over the past 12 to 20 years, right? And are they still the right fit? Do they belong in that ecosystem, or can they be mined for the data that they need to be ingested into a data ecosystem that's going to provide you something that can allow you to derive insights, but most importantly, action those insights. And that's really going to be the key indicator of success in AI and ML in the future.
I will also add to your point also, Matt, is that the AI ML algorithms can provide insights, but there is a gap between the insights and the decision making. And the leader's experience in making that decision based on that insight comes under also the data literacy itself as well. And also thinking outside the box, or sometimes inside the box, finding the best option, which can actually, how that insight can be used and how that decision can actually impact the operational metrics or profitability is something, is also an art many times than the science itself as well. So the way I understand is that you have helped organization in mapping out as well that from this insights, what decisions can be made and which decision is actually going to have what impact, positive or negative, pros and cons, and helping them driving that decision to flourishment as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, I mean, first and foremost, it's a journey, right? And the journey is from predictive insights to prescriptive insights to actionable insights to autonomous insights, right? And each one of those steps has value associated with it at the individual use case level. What SCT, my advisory, tries to focus on is how to enable your organization to accelerate that journey, right? And what investments need to be made first to get the right platform in place and to incrementally build it towards the vision in a value-added way, with well-intentioned and incremental benefits each step, but also how to take advantage of the components and the value that each of those components brings each step of the way. And, we look at it in parallel between IT and platform strategy and the components of that, such as automated testing and artificial intelligence and low-code, no-code platforms, et cetera, cloud strategies, right? In parallel with supply chain strategies, which are warehousing, transportation, supply chain planning, and going all the way up into digital commerce and digital marketing as well. So we try to take a holistic view end to end across customer engagement and supply chain, and make sure that the IT strategy is 100% in support and in alignment with the opportunities that the companies have in front of them, the clients have in front of them, as well as the core differentiation that is available to companies in their industry, so that they can optimize their competitive position in the future.
We always hear is that, do you have the right problem to solve? And that actually comes to my another question is that I have all these capabilities. I have ton of data. Now the question comes is that how should I select AI ML use case? And how can I ensure that the solution which I'm bringing, the AI ML model which I'm bringing in, is in line with my needs and can provide me the tangible benefits going forward? Your opinion for that?
Yeah, 100%. And I think there is a hyper focus in the industry on identifying the right use cases. And look, it's pretty obvious, right? But that's only a small part of the equation that's going to define success, in my opinion. It is really taking a broader look and almost approaching AI ML as a little bit of organizational strategy, a little bit of IT strategy, and a little bit of a change management exercise, right? Because what you're going to need is to embed AI and ML and these actionable insights that drive the key business indicators, performance indicators, and drive competitive differentiation. It's the focus on this has got to be embedded in the DNA of the organization in which you're working. So a big part of our strategic investment assessment program is to ask, how companies can socialize that vision, and how they can achieve that vision as quickly as possible, in kind of a build, buy, or partner strategy, right? So a part of it is functional evolution and focus. A part of it is that investment that drives the IT capabilities, but a huge portion of it is how do you build out skills and a culture that focuses on this. It's not a one-time solve. It's something that needs to be nurtured, and something that needs continual investment to ensure that it's being calibrated and delivering the optimized value.
In terms of actually going towards the end, any last word which you would like to share with our audience as well, and just helping them, maybe the other resources related to the topic where they can actually go and then get more information. Of course, they can actually send email to both of us. And as you have highlighted, your focus is on the organizational strategy and working with us in terms of how that AI ML strategy can get implemented. So what are your last words going to be for our listeners and the resources they can actually tap onto?
So it's a great point. Look, there's a ton of resources out there. Most of them have been embodied in fairly direct sales pitches by software vendors who are claiming that AI and ML are going to solve all the problems of some of the legacy applications that have existed in the past that have underperformed expectations. But to be fair, I think there's a lot of hammers looking for nails out there. And while there may be an incremental opportunity, the more tactical approaches are going to fail to really help companies establish the strategic momentum with AI that I think is so critical. So if you want to grow a competency that's going to help you evolve as an organization, I think the first thing is educate yourself, but be skeptical, right? And really lean in not on speaking to people about the sales pitch or the problem they can solve, but talking to the experts about how to start achieving successes and building a skill set and a competency in-house, as well as with these partners that are available to you. It's going to be a lot easier to identify pragmatic use cases with non-supply chain practitioners because you know your business than it is to talk AI strategy with a supply chain expert who's always trying to solve that one problem, right? So what you'll find is there's very short roadmaps when you get in bed with somebody who's fairly tactically focused. You have to start with somebody who's going to look a little bit more holistically. The most important point I'll make is, in my opinion, as I started out in the first session, Deepak, this AI ML reality is going to slowly but surely transform the landscape and disrupt industries and change the winners and losers in each one of these areas, right? Or each of these industries and subverticals. So everybody, in my opinion right now, should be evaluating how their supply chain can be leveraged as a strategic asset in the way that they engage their customers and the way that they manage their business. And how to leverage AI and ML both to drive profitability as well as customer service, and more holistically to improve, those financial indicators through a more comprehensive approach of tying customer insights to inventory availability, and then turning that back around into your merchandising and customer engagement strategies to shape demand and define the markets. This is what your North Star needs to be. And it's going to be a slow road, but I'll go back to an earlier statement and say the better positioned you are to accelerate your investments and your initiatives because you have that competency in-house and you have a culture that's focused on exploring the opportunities with AI and ML, the faster you're going to get to that market leading position and be viewed by your customer base as the industry leader and the folks that they want to do business with. So I'll leave that with that, Deepak.
Thank you very much, Matthew.
Our insightful conversation with Matthew Butler has shed light on the transformative power of AI in supply chain management. While the implementation of these technologies comes with its challenges, such as lack of understanding of AI capabilities and the need for robust data platforms, organizations can overcome these barriers through strategic partnerships and investment in skill development. Selecting the right AI and ML solution require a focus on specific use cases and considering whether to build, buy, or partner. Matthew's advice to our listener is to be pragmatic yet visionary, leveraging near-term use cases to build a foundation for strategic insight, and aligning its IT roadmap with their supply chain strategy. By embracing these technologies and leveraging these capabilities, organizations can unlock new growth opportunities, enhance operation efficiency, and deliver exceptional customer experiences. We would like to thank you, Matthew, for joining us today and encourage you to stay tuned for more captive discussions on the Technocrats.